these people think that I'm absolutely nuts. And then they.
He's looking happy right now. Idiot. Stop looking like an idiot, son. You're making me look like a bad daddy. Stop looking like an idiot, son. What?
This is damn, man.
No. What?
This is damn, bro.
I'll take that. Y'all field goal behind me.
What?
This is
Field goal behind me.
What?
This is
Field goal behind me. Field goal behind me.
Ain't no bros.
Field goal behind me.
Anal pros, we're missing anal pros.
What?
This is like missing anal.
What?
This is like missing anal.
What?
This is like easy. They're just sitting there laughing. They're not even sweating. Why are you talking and laughing? Oh, God.
Oh my
This
God.
ain't fun.
What?
This is play with your umbrella.
What?
This is he's as useless as mom.
Oh, what? Wait a minute. What?
This is
Hey, it made you, son. What up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Man, oh man, I just love my son, Philly 500. You know, it's crazy. Now, let me clarify something right now. I remember seeing a comment earlier today where somebody was talking about me. This is what Mark Holmes does. You know, he fears the team and then he starts talking about him. He did this with the New York Giants. Well, of course, the Giants beat us twice in 2016, and they were the Super Bowl favorite. The best thing you can do is know everything you can about your enemy. I make no bones about it. The Eagles are a good team, and they have built themselves up to be feared. I'm not going to say that I'm not. I fear everybody because in the NFL, anybody can beat you on any given Sunday. And Eagle fans, I wouldn't sleep on the Detroit Lions. If you've been watching the Lions on Hard Knocks, they're not your daddy's Lions anymore. They may actually come down and start chewing on your kneecaps. So don't get too, thinking that that's just going to be a breeze. So anyway, us as Cowboy fans, we get jealous. Every time there is a player out there that's a free agent or wants to be traded, we immediately look and say, the Cowboys, we got to go get that guy. And we get jealous of teams like the Eagles that are constantly going out there in free agency and trying and bringing in players. When they got big play Slay, they go out there and they get guys like that. They've gone through, got A.J. Brown, and we look and say, why aren't we doing these things? Well, I'm actually here to tell you that there is actually a reason behind why we don't do things like that. Partially because for the Eagles, it's out of necessity. It's not so much that the Joneses don't want to, but a lot of times there's a lot of risk involved, and sometimes you don't get rewarded in doing these things. And for the Cowboys, well, let's face it, the Cowboys have been really, really good with our first-round picks. We have gotten impact players that have been Pro Bowl players. For the Eagles in the last 6 or 7 years, it's been like a desert. They not getting those impact guys in the draft. And so when they're not able to get those impact guys, they've got to go elsewhere to try and find them. For example, the Eagles have been trying to find that wide receiver. It's not a matter of them not trying to get a great wide receiver. They have been trying to draft one almost on a yearly basis, but have yet to really find that guy. Maybe Devontae Smith will be, but they realize we have to go out there and get an A.J. Brown. Whereas us Cowboys, we go out there, we get a C.D. Lamb, which seems to be a hit. The jury's still out. There's still time to see it. But let me actually go through the numbers and show you exactly what I mean here. Because here's the thing. When you look at the Eagles drafting since 2010, they got Brandon Grime, who's been a great defensive end, okay? Then they go for Danny Watkins, not real good. They went lights out on Fletcher Cox. They went lights out on Lane Johnson. But after that, it really starts looking bad. Marcus Smith, I think, was out of the league in 2 years. Nelson Aguilar has become a meme, actually, for Philly 500 and basically has become Nelson Aguilar, and as you see further down there, Jalen Reagor. We now have Reagor, which he's combining the two, where they have tried to get great, outstanding wide receivers. And I'll even throw in there Charlie Whiteside, or J.J. Arthega-Whiteside. I don't know why I keep wanting to say Charlie Whiteside. But they drafted him in the second round hoping that he was going to be a star. Turns out DK Metcalf was the very next pick. And in a side note, they drafted Jalen Reagor. The very next pick, of course, was Justin Jefferson, who Philly 500 didn't want because he was ass. So as we go through there, we got Derek Barnett, which is the reason why I played that clip, because Derek Barnett is one of those trigger words for Philly 500. All you got to do is say Derek Barnett, and he'll roll his eyes and just literally get pissed off. Andre Dillard, they're hoping that they can trade because he can't really get on the field. Like I said, Reagor, they're hoping that they can trade him. I don't know that you get a potted meat sandwich for him. The jury's out on Devontae Smith. And Jordan Davis may be a great player, but I'm afraid that he's not going to be an every down player. So when you can't get impact players through the draft, you must go through and get them in free agency. Let's take a look at what the Cowboys have done on the other side of this. You look at Dez Bryant. Dez Bryant was pretty good. And let me note here that you'll notice that yellow means that they've been at least a Pro Bowl player for at least 1 year. The Cowboys got Tyron Smith, who's still going. You can argue about his health, but when he's healthy, he's one of the best tackles in football. Morris Claiborne, I could say he's a bust, but Morris Claiborne does have a Super Bowl ring, and he did last in the league several years. And maybe the problem with Morris Claiborne is the problem we've had with second-round draft picks. We used a second and a first to move up to get him. So maybe he was messed up, jinxed by that second-round thing that we have. See, the Eagles' problems with first-round picks are what we have with second rounds. Travis Frederick, one of the best centers in football. Zach Martin, still going strong, and arguably the best guard in football. Byron Jones, no longer with the team, but he got paid to go Miami. He's considered a really good cornerback. Zeke Elliott, more yards from scrimmage than anybody else in the time that he's been there. Taco Charlton, you can look, that could be the bugaboo for us, but he's still playing, and he is actually down at New Orleans. Some of my friends down in New Orleans say he actually doesn't look bad. Leighton Vander Esch, a rookie phenom, had some injury history, but is still with the team and played well last season and is looking pretty good in training camp. Again, at least had a Pro Bowl with them. CeeDee Lamb, definitely our number one receiver. He should be able to get some Pro Bowls under his belt. And, of course, Micah Parsons, who could be a generational talent. We'll see what happens with Tyler Smith. I've got some thoughts on Tyler Smith, why he's not starting right now. I think he's going to become, actually, I think they're looking more and more with Tyron Smith having the ankle injury and warning sign. I think they're preparing him to be taking over for Tyron Smith if and when Tyron Smith gets hurt. And I think once he gets that start, he will not be giving that back. But we'll see. I believe Tyler Smith will have a bigger impact for the Cowboys than Jordan Davis. But I agree Jordan Davis is a great guy. So when you start to look at this from the standpoint of the Cowboys have been better able to get impact players and Pro Bowl talents out of the draft, whereas the Eagles have been constantly moving and shaking and moving up and down the draft and trying to get impact players, we've been successful. And so the Eagles then have to turn around and try and get those players from elsewhere. And that's why you've seen them having to sign more players in free agency. Now, I'm sure what's going to happen is I will stir up, because that's what we like to do here. You know, I like to stir some shit up, as Jerry Jones would say. I know I will get the ire of Eagle fans that are saying that I'm just a hater, but the facts bear out. If you get a Micah Parsons and a CeeDee Lamb in the draft, you're not per se, and a Zeke Elliott, you're not looking at trying to get a Kareem Hunt. And that's where the Eagles right now are looking at trying to get maybe possibly Kareem Hunt. Nick Sirianni was seen talking to him at practice with the Cleveland Browns and so on, and it wouldn't surprise me if they did try and do that. But again, the Cowboys got Zeke Elliott. They end up getting Tony Pollard. by drafting them, whereas the Eagles have to go outside and try and find them. We get C.D. Lamb. Well, they end up getting the Nelson Aguilars and, of course, the Regulars, and that's why they have to go and try and get an A.J. Brown. Kind of common sense there. But you know how we roll. You know, we will get some hate from the Eagle fans that will, of course, as always, be pissed off because that's what they are, always pissed off. I'm Mark Holmes, and hopefully I'll see you tonight, 9 o'clock Eastern. Guaranteed there'll be plenty of Eagle fans here cussing me out.
I fire Howie. Fucking fire him. Motherfucker! Stupid motherfucker! What an idiot! What an idiot! Dallas has Amari Cooper and Gallup, but we don't need a receiver. Are you kidding me? I don't want Justin Jefferson. He's ass.